And talking of viewers' emails, we've also had a great response to Mike Liggins's piece on Christmases past. More on that later, as well as a weather forecast with a very wintry theme.
Yes, temperatures are taking a nosedive once more and snow is heading our way. I'll have all the details for you in the weather forecast later.
A school in Essex has one of the worst attendance records in the country, according to the Department for Education. More than half the pupils at Crays Primary near Wickford are persistently absent. A former governor says he fears the school may have to close.
Crays Primary. School inspectors say teaching here is good, occasionally outstanding, but it seems often less than half the pupils actually turn up.
The school has one of the worst truancy records in the entire country.
In England, on average, 1.8% of primary school pupils are persistently absent. At Crays Primary, it's 53.7. Local councillor David McPherson Davis used to be a Crays Hill governor. This was his reaction to the school's attendance record.
Frightening, isn't it? Frightening, really, when you think about all the resources that Essex County Council have put into that school in terms of modernisation, capital, staff, to still end up with this terrible situation.
Just down the road, Dale Farm, a travellers' site. Villagers say as the travellers' children moved into the school, local children moved out. The travellers insist they do send their children to school, but say fears about a possible eviction may have affected attendance. Even when the children do turn up, a school that had more than 200 pupils now has around 70. Gareth George, BBC Look East.
Tourist businesses in Suffolk have been telling the government how it could help them survive the downturn. On a visit to Waveney, the tourism minister was told the area has had a good year, but there were worries over everything from rising VAT to poor broadband.
The tourism minister, John Penrose, started his visit to East Anglia escorted by local councillors to England's most easterly point in Lowestoft.
I hope that I understand a little bit about the tourism issues which we are facing.
He then addressed a tourism conference attended by the industry's key people, hoping the government can do more to support them.
More tourists and possibly better infrastructure to our region.
The road links for the area are not the best in the country, and so there's a lot of work that can be done there.
Well, we would very much appreciate a lot more financial help in terms of marketing and promotion.
I think there will be a problem with the fact that the VAT rate is going up, so that will hit a lot of people on everything.
Those points were reiterated here. James Knight has owned this holiday park and marina for the last 7 years. It's just won 3 tourism awards and is celebrating its best season ever thanks to staycation.
One of our biggest problems here, being a rural business, is the lack of any decent broadband. But I think in terms of tourism generally, I think the big thing for us now is how can we attract some foreign tourists to the British Isles.
That's one of the issues the government wants to address.
One of the things which we're doing is trying to set up a huge marketing fund, £50 million worth of public money, another £50 million worth of private money in a matched funding pot to market the heck out of the UK over the next 4 years.
John Penrose says he wants to promote businesses like this to get heads on beds, bums on seats and feet through turnstiles to ensure tourism stays as one of the UK's key industries. Debbie Tubby, BBC Look East.
2 further education colleges in Norfolk are to join together. City College in Norwich and Great Yarmouth College say they'll now work in partnership. They hope it'll boost skills in the county by giving students access to more courses.
We're about to propose a range of plans looking at how we can better work together. Clearly that will mean better opportunities for progression for students across courses, across the 2 institutions, sharing services, back office functions, those sorts of things.
In football last night, Southend came away from Cheltenham with a 2-0 win. Jack Midson scored both goals in the first half. He joined the Blues on loan last month from Oxford. The club has confirmed today that assistant manager Tommy Widrington, who wasn't at the game, has left the club.
Moving on to non-league, and Great Yarmouth Town experienced a player mutiny last night in a row over the payment of expenses. 7 first-team players and the manager didn't turn up for the match against Kings Lynn in the region's Premier.
This is football minus the glamour and the money. Just 92 people were there to watch Great Yarmouth against Kings Lynn last night, with the home side in effect hit by a strike. Only 4 first-team players turned out. They were led by the assistant manager. The players don't get wages and say they're owed a total of £5,000 in expenses.
We have a problem within the club, and we realise that, and we're all concerned about it. We have made mistakes, but I tell everybody now we have a stand there, which is wonderful, and we're not going to let that go. Yarmouth Town Football Club will survive.
Last night, most of the crowd of 92 were from Kings Lynn, and last Saturday the gate was just 32. Sponsorship is difficult to find. There's not much money coming in and not much to pay out in expenses.
Obviously that is sad when you see hear teams like Yarmouth obviously not paying the players, and then sort of I think they've striked, or a couple of them have striked tonight. So like I said, we can't worry ourselves too much about that. We've got to worry about our football club.
Great Yarmouth Town manager Paul Tong told the BBC he felt he had to stand by his players last night. He said today he was working to resolve the situation. Ian Barmer, BBC Look East.